This episode of SAMP&CHANCE Boxing, we have the Garcia Haney review. Most of you already knew what already happened, but we're going to tell you what we think. Also, Barbosa Jr. didn't look that great, but he won. Weight, is it necessary? Do you need to make weight in boxing? Does it really make a difference? All this and so much more on this episode of SAMP&CHANCE. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of SAMP&CHANCE Boxing. I am your host, Bobby Sampson, joined as always on this beautiful Thursday, Mr. Chance Michaels. Chance, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. I got to comment you on that top rank cat. It's a beauty.
Thanks, brother, man. Picked this up, first trip to Vegas ever, man. You were
I didn't even know you bought that.
Yeah, I bought it from the gift shop for the
Oscar Valdez fight.
The Valdez fight. Yeah. So I mean, I
Never
bought
seen
that
it before. This is a nice, sharp-looking hat.
Thanks, bro. You know what the problem was? When I had my hair long, I couldn't really wear hats.
Yeah. No, I didn't even know you bought that. It's cool.
Yeah, I bought it. I was with you. I was standing right beside you.
Yeah, I didn't notice, but yeah, I can't remember if you bought something.
You know what? I bought a couple t-shirts as well for the girls.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was tucked in there with that. But anyways,
Okay.
yeah. Shakira Stevenson, thank you very much, man. That was a great time. That was fun, eh? We got to do that soon again.
Yes.
And who knows? The opportunity might come sooner than we think. We'll touch on that.
Fights coming up here out there, yeah.
Yeah. But hey, let's get into it, my friend. Here we are, Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. Let's just talk about the match itself, and then we can go deeper into the other stuff. All right, let's get this thing going. Here we go. Your thoughts on it overall, man?
Wow. What a performance by Ryan Garcia. He came in there and kicked his butt. I mean, I'll say one thing. Ryan was fighting in spurts. He'd come out there, fight for 30 seconds, throw some combos, then he'd rest for like 2 minutes, and then throw again. He broke Haney's jaw. You could see Haney, his face looked messed up because his jaw was broken. And that hook, that speed, I mean, Haney didn't know what hit him. I mean, Haney's finally always a bigger guy. He's fighting little guys like, well, we finally fought a bigger guy, and he just got smashed. And what a performance by Ryan. Hats off to him, man. He knocked him down 3 times. And the reffing was bad. The referee was definitely favoring Haney. Every time he tried to clinch and grab him, he was giving him more time to rest, pushing Garcia away. And he took a point away from Garcia. Usually you give a warning first. Right after the clinch, Garcia hit him, point away. Usually give a warning. So the ref was totally biased. Great performance by Ryan. I'm glad that he won. I wanted him when I said it on the show. I thought Haney would win, but I was cheering for Ryan, and I love it. You?
Yeah. Okay. So, like first thing I noticed right away that Garcia was just fighting in spurts, right? Like in moments, and in those moments he was creating damage. I mean, I think Garcia, or I think Haney, and I'm not making excuses for Haney. Okay, yeah, I picked Haney to win, and I wanted Haney to win. To be fair, but what I took away from that was basically Haney just looked discombobulated. He didn't look right. He didn't come into that fight the right way. He didn't look like he did against Prograis. He didn't look the way he looked against Lomo even. And Lomo, in my opinion, is 10 times better than Ryan Garcia is.
Oh, yeah, technically, yes.
Right. So, I mean, the kind of fight, I just think Devin didn't get off to the fight he wanted. He just never got it started. He didn't get knocked down in that first round, but he was shook. And after that, his whole game plan changed, right?
I think that left hook shook him, dude. And he's like, oh my God, this guy hits a lot harder than I thought.
Exactly, right? And I said to you in the preview show, the one thing I said, he doesn't respect Garcia, but he respects that left hand. And he got caught by it. And maybe he needed to get caught by it just to see what it was all about. But once he felt it, he realized what was going on, right?
Oh, yeah.
And at the end of the day, yeah, Garcia won. I'm not going to take anything away. The man deserves his flowers, but he didn't look great doing it, to be completely honest, in my opinion. Again, just fighting in spurts and pockets, but that's all it took to beat the guy. Yeah. And he looked huge. That's the other thing I'll say, man. He looked like a monster. Like, you compare what he looked like against Tank, and you look at what he looks like here. I mean, weight bullying is a real thing, man.
Oh, yeah.
This time he was the bully in it. And, I think people are going to talk about these kind of things. It's not an asterisk, in my opinion. He still accepted the fight. He still went ahead with it. He could have stopped.
Doesn't get the belt because he's overweight.
He doesn't get the belt. But, I think the thing is, like, you can't fault him and you can say Haney could have walked away and not,
And he
accepted the
also bet a
title.
couple million on himself, Garcia, to get the win, and he did. He won a few million on betting on himself.
Yeah. So, basically that was the fight in a nutshell, man. What else can you say? I mean, it was the story of that left hand, and he was using his right hand too. I don't think Haney was prepared for that. He thought he was a one-dimensional guy. So credit to Derek James for implementing some new things in there. He was using his right a bit more. So I'm excited to see where Ryan kind of goes from here. But you can't fight in spurts against everybody, man. And
No, I know.
I think the other benefit that Ryan had
Well,
here
he didn't
is
have great cardio. He was gassing himself out. He even admitted his cardio wasn't great. You could tell. Throw up 30 seconds, rest for 2 minutes. Haney doesn't have any power. He's not a high pressure guy. You're gonna fight a guy with some power, that pressure, you won't be able to rest like that.
and this is what I'm saying. I mean, this is the one saving grace that he had. As good as defensively sound as Haney is, the guy has no power.
I know.
I mean, by all accounts, he should have knocked out Kambosos in that second fight. By all accounts, if he had power, chances are he could have stumbled and made Lomo take a knee at some point. But the fact that he has no power is his detriment, man.
And Garcia was never scared of him. He knew it. Like, he's got no power. He can't even put down little Lomo. I'm going to come here and bully this guy.
Well, that's the thing, right? I think that eye opener for everyone is he couldn't put down Kambosos. Take nothing away from George. I'm not going to. I'm just saying he's a guy that should be able to be put down.
You think so?
But that leads me to the next round here, my friend. Does weight really matter in boxing? You know what? After that fight, yes, it does. I mean, that 3 rounds coming in over 3.5 pounds, he didn't have to. I've read some articles and I've heard some of the talent, Bradley talking about this as well after the fight, that there is a reason for weight classes.
I was about to say that there's a reason for weight classes. Bradley's eating his words now. He was trashing Garcia big time. Garcia
right. But the way you looked at Devin, okay, remember when he fought Kambosos the second time, and I looked at him and I said to you then, I said, man, this guy looks, emancipated. Like he is just so sunken in. And he looked at that again at 140. So even 140 is too much for him. And the one thing that people say in this is that last 3 to 4 pounds are the hardest ones to get rid of. Everything else comes off easy. It's those 4 pounds.
Well, you could see it. Garcia couldn't get those 3 pounds off. He didn't want to come in overweight. He just couldn't get it off.
Regardless of it, the way he did it though, and then the way he came into the fight, you looked at Devin, he did everything he's supposed to do. But mind you, he is the champion. If he didn't come on weight, he would have lost the belt on the scale, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, by all accounts, that title could have been vacated that night. But he did everything he was supposed to do as the champion. And Ryan coming in the way he did, drinking the beer, making an act of it. My question to you, is that an insult to all boxers that work their asses off to make that weight to honor the agreement?
Well, I mean,
It's a
a lot of guys
disrespect,
have done
man.
it. From our boy Benavidez to Garcia. The reason why they're not making the weight is because they're not training hard enough. Garcia, I don't think, trained that hard, because he even said after, my cardio wasn't great. Well, you're going into a title fight against one of the best boxers in the world, and you're basically admitting Derek James didn't push you hard enough. Now, he's got natural raw talent, and he had a good game plan. But as he gets a little bit older and guys pressure, you're not going to be able to take a 2-minute rest and not worry about getting hit hard. So I don't think it's disrespect. He was being cocky. It wasn't an act that he was putting on. Some of the stuff he said, he struggles mentally. He'll praise Jesus and then swear the next second. So he's not all there. As far as in the ring between the ropes, the guy is an amazing fighter. Outside of the ropes, that's where he struggled. His only safe place to me is when he's in that ring boxing, because he can control what he's doing. Outside of the ring, he's out of control.
Right.
They almost didn't let him fight.
But the question is, like, if you're a boxer and you train, right, and you're at a top level boxer, you're supposed to make weight.
You're supposed to. That's your job, right? Professional.
But the way he handled it, the way he did it, okay, that's what I'm saying is that
he's just putting on a show, drinking a beer, screw the system. Look at me. I haven't seen the pay-per-view numbers yet. I'm interested to see when they come out.
I can already tell you. I saw 200,000 to 215,000 is what I'm seeing.
Yeah. So there you go. This tells you 2 things. 1, people don't like Garcia's antics. 2, Devin Haney is not a pay-per-view draw. Tank and Garcia did 1.5 million. So Haney is not a top draw.
No, and maybe not. But I mean, Garcia couldn't even get the job done with them, man.
No, I know.
Right. All right. That leads us to the next topic here, and you kind of talked about it a little bit already, man. Did he dupe everybody, or is he legitimately, just playing the game? So what I mean by that is, like, you're saying no because you already think he does have mental issues, and maybe he does. but because of his social media suave. And I almost feel that watching that fight, I felt like he was taking a page out of Dylan Dennis's book in terms of trolling and just the kind of shit that he was kind of putting out there throughout to build up this match and to build up this fight. A lot of people think, oh, okay, it was all an act, but you say it's not. Why do you stand by that?
Because if you really listen to what he was, first of all, the guy, he's a good looking guy, number one followed boxer on social media. Why would he talk the things he was talking? Let's get into what he was saying. He wasn't just trashing Haney, and I can't stand Devin's dad. I think he's a clown. But besides all that, he was talking about he was being kidnapped to the forest, watching kids get raped. That's not something you say to troll. That's mental illness. That's schizophrenia. That's out of his mind stuff. Now, just because you're on your mind doesn't mean you can't throw your fists. Some of the toughest guys in prison are nuts where they can beat the crap out of you. So yeah. Some of it was amping it up a little bit, but some of the stuff he was talking about, you don't troll like that. You don't fake that. That was legit mental health. Doesn't mean he can't fight, right? And they almost took his license away to fight because he was so out of his mind. I thought he was going to do something crazy in the ring. He didn't, but you could tell he was getting agitated. But some of the stuff, sure, he trolled, but 90% of what he was saying was all mental health.
Well, they did an assessment on him before the fight to determine if he was okay, and he passed that with flying colors.
Well, you could just lie and say, I feel good, I'm trolling, right? You don't talk about watching kids get raped in that forest, that special forest where these supposed Hollywood people take them, and that's not trolling. That's next level out of your mind stuff.
Well, I mean, I look at a couple of things. One, he already knew he wasn't going to make weight at that press conference. You know what I mean? Like, I mean to bring that back. I meant to mention this earlier, but like, he already knew. Like, his dad was telling him, "Don't make the bet," because they all knew he wasn't going to make weight.
Yeah, he's not training enough.
So you got that, and the other thing I noticed is like a lot of his attitude and the way he acts. It's really, these things are taught at home. I don't care what anybody says.
Yep.
Right. An example.
Well, seen his dad. His dad was arguing with
Eddie Hearn. Yeah, I was going to mention that. This is where I was going to go with this, right? You look at how his dad's acting in victory to Eddie Hearn. And Eddie Hearn's acting all class. Like, yeah, we lost. Whatever the case may be, this is it. He's not making excuses. I mean, Haney didn't even make excuses for the most part. He accepted it for what it was. We came in with the game plan. It didn't work out the way we thought. I just didn't have it. Plain and simple. He didn't have it. And, kind of makes you wonder, like, okay, this stuff is taught at home. So, I mean, if the people around him aren't helping him or supporting him, are they just there for the money and see what they can cash off on him? Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of sad.
Bit of both. He is a cash cow. Hey, man, De La Hoya, I love that golden boy wearing that golden suit, looking sharp. That's how you dress as a CEO. You dress like a boss. He had that, that woman with him too, looking dressed to the nines. Like,
yeah,
De La Hoya looked like a boss. And when I seen him walking in, like, he had this confidence about De La Hoya. Like, we're gonna beat this guy. He ain't nothing. And just the way he was walking, as the golden boy, like the smile, like he was at ease. He knew Garcia was gonna whoop him. He did.
Yeah, fair enough, man. All right, I think we've exhausted this fight as much as we possibly can. A lot of people already know what we're talking about, so there's enough out there. I'll kind of end this fight with this. Garcia won, yes, but Garcia didn't win the right way, in my opinion. He should have made weight. He should have done it the right way.
Absolutely.
And I think that played a bigger role than people want to admit. And again, he beat him. Yes, I'll admit that, but he didn't beat him the right way. And he fought in pockets. And I think the stupidest thing that Haney did in this entire fight, every time he went and turned his back like this, why are you just punching the side of him, man? Like,
thank you for saying that. So there's another thing for bringing that up. So Derek James is telling him, don't do that. And he kept doing it anyways. This is the problem. So you get away with that with a Devin Haney. He doesn't have any power. But you're fighting a guy like Tank or something, or even Tiafimo, somebody with a little more power, they're gonna knock you down. He purposely didn't listen to his coach and did that shoulder roll thing. He was told not to do it. He didn't do it. He didn't make the weight. He just won on natural, raw, amazing left hook, speed. He's faster than Haney. He's stronger than Haney. He won a natural, God-given talent. But eventually, you're going to fight a stronger guy. That won't work, and you're going to put on the canvas like Tank did to you. When you're not listening to your corner, you're going to get hurt.
Imagine if Ryan Garcia had the right people around him with everything he has already to offer. This guy could be unstoppable, man.
I don't think it matters if you have Bob Arum around him, De La Hoya.
Well, I'm just saying if you have the right people
to. I just think he's has so much mental health that he won't listen to anybody because he thinks he's unstoppable. And what Tank showed us that you're not.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, he wants to fight Isaac Cruz next, and I don't think he can fight that way against Isaac. Isaac has got power.
No, he hits hard and he comes at you.
Right, and that guy's salivating. He wants them all.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's anyone who feels underrated, and I think he's underrated, is easy cruise.
Well, Garcia now he's saying he wants Tiafimo, now he wants Errol Spence, he's like him, so he can pretty much fight whoever he wants.
Well, the doors are open for him now that he won this fight, right? I mean, everyone was kind of shooting doom and gloom at the end of the Gervonta Davis, the tank fight. And yeah, sure enough, right? But again, it's just like, yeah, you come back, you do this. What are you going to do next? I mean, the doors are open for
and let's
him,
give
right?
let's give Oscar and Bernard Hopkins credit. Great matchmaking. They knew Haney's got no power. This guy's got power. We're gonna beat him. We're gonna beat him. They beat him good. He smashed him, knocked him down 3 times, bullied him, broke his jaw. Haney got rocked hard, man. We don't know. Nothing wrong with losing, but we don't know if it's be the same Haney fighting again when you get rocked like that. We'll find out sooner than later.
Well, I mean, look, they're young. They're both 25 years old, right? Garcia won. I'll state it again and again, and I owe you a 6-pack of Coke Zero, right? I will honor that. But the reality of it is, like I said, man, he didn't fight him the right way, and he caught a guy, I think, on his off night, to be completely honest. I mean, I don't think a rematch is necessary, but
not the way he got beat.
I would have perceived it to be a different outcome if both guys came
on. You know what, though? Haney don't deserve a rematch because Haney doesn't rematch guys. He rematched Kambosos, but he didn't rematch Lomo when he lost to Lomo. He knew he lost to Lomo. He ran to Lomo. He didn't deserve a rematch. Well, and I can't stand his dad. His dad's obnoxious and arrogant. So I'm glad Garcia put the Haney boys down.
I think Haney needs to stay where he is, in my opinion. He needs to build power because if he keeps moving up in weight, he's just going to get his ass kicked every time now because he has no power.
Yep. These guys hit hard.
Got a chin. He's got a chin.
He's got a pretty good chin, yeah.
But he has no power. He needs to figure that out. I mean, if that's what's not getting him 100 ranking in the video game or a 90-something ranking and keeping him in an 89, it's because he's got no power.
Yep, agreed.
All right, on that night as well, we had Barbosa Jr. going up against the Irishman. Let's talk about that, man, because that was an interesting fight as well. I'm watching this fight and I'm thinking, okay, Barbosa should just walk through this kid. That kid came in with heart. I mean, those Irish kids can fight.
Well, the guy, Sean McComb comes over from Ireland. His dream is to beat Barbosa, undefeated fighter, and he did. This is a highway robbery. He was too tall for Barbosa. He was too long. He was throwing those combinations. Barbosa couldn't do anything. Barbosa come on the inside. He didn't hit McComb in the body, so McComb gave him a 3-punch combo. Barbosa was back. He dominated the fight. Awkward angles, using his jab, quick punching. He easily won the fight. It was one of the worst decisions I've seen in a while. And this is what the boxing judges do. He comes all the way from Ireland to win the fight. He ripped his heart out of his chest. It was a horrible, horrible decision. Barbosa is overrated. All the hype, the bias from Sergio Mora, cheering on basically Barbosa the whole fight. Finally admitting, I thought McComb won at the end. McComb easily won it. Everybody will tell you McComb won the fight. Only one judge got it right. The other 2 judges didn't get it right. He outboxed him pretty much every round, shut him out. What a brilliant performance by McComb. There should be a rematch or he's getting another big fight because this guy can fight. I know he got knocked down one time and lost the fight. Big deal. He won the fight, and I'm disgusted about the judges to do something so blatant.
No, he came in. He fought the right fight. He took care of his business. He kept him off his game.
He was slippery, like Barbosa couldn't touch him.
Well, the thing is, you couldn't get inside because he threw that long jab, right? He threw that long jab in, kind of analyzed. Barbosa couldn't get anything set up, couldn't get anything going.
And bad coaching by Barbosa's corner because they told him to throw more punches. What punches? You want him to throw a left, a right, slip. Throw more punches. Well, you weren't telling him what to do. There was no game plan. McComb said, if I follow the game plan that my team set out for me, I win. Barbosa had no game plan. They overlooked him. They thought he was some dumb Irishman. A journeyman will kick his butt. Bad training by Barbosa's team. They had no game plan in between the rounds. They didn't even tell him what to do. Just throw more punches. Well, what kind of punches? The punches you're throwing aren't landing. So horrible.
He couldn't get anything started. And that's a testament to the fight that McComb was fighting. Sorry. So I mean, ultimately the right guy didn't win.
No,
and that's the sad part. The other thing is that people were saying, was he focused too much on the main event, thinking that he would get the call and not paying attention?
He's not getting the call.
No. Meaning at that fight, they were saying if Ryan couldn't go, because there's always that speculation that Ryan wasn't going to make it.
It was a bad style matchup. He was too tall, too lanky.
Yeah.
He's a better boxer.
Right.
3-punch combinations, and the team didn't know what to do about it.
Right. No, I'm not saying that's wrong. You're wrong in any way. But what I'm saying is that in the back of his mind, do you think that he was focused more on potentially getting the chance against Haney because he figured Garcia wasn't going to make it. He didn't.
No, I think they heard the chattering that we're going to let Garcia go. He's going to too much money on the line. He was ready to go if that would have been the case. But at the end of the day, he's not ready for any of those guys because he lost to Sean McComb. Great performance by Sean McComb. He will get another good fight again because he's a great combination puncher, man. Slick footwork, slick head movement. What a performance. He won the fight. You got robbed, and everybody knows that.
Yeah. All right, brother, man. That's 4 rounds in the book. I think we're pretty good here. But that being said, before we get to Canadian history, if we have, and this day in boxing history, or this week in boxing history, dude, I think that where we got this weekend, which is really quiet, and maybe a couple of weeks of quiet weekends, but then we start picking it up, man. We got a new way.
Are we ever?
We got a new week coming up. We got Lomo versus Cambosos coming up. We got Fury versus Usyk coming up. Navarrete coming up. We got Taylor Cottrell too, which I'm kind of looking forward to based on that first fight. Better be even Bivol. Then we I mean, shit. This is looking crazy. This is only from the top rank.
We got Tank Davis and Martin.
This is right. That's a Showtime card, right? So I mean, that's just 15. Top rank, bro. That's just top rank.
Well, top rank is the best stable right now. The lineup they got coming out right now is the best back-to-back weeks I've seen in boxing, and I don't even know how long.
Yeah, and if you look at that card from June 1st alone, I mean, you look at that's the Matchroom versus Queensberry card, headlined by Bivol and
Better Biev,
and it's His Excellency's already said that he's putting it together for David to face the winner of that fight for the titles. So that's in the works. We're also hearing that His Excellency is putting a card together in California.
Thanks for bringing that up. So De La Hoya said, "This is my town. California is my city. Nobody's going to be able to put in a card that I don't want to." Well, His Excellency is coming. He's putting on a good card. What you going to do about it, De La Hoya?
There was a moment. Man. All these guys had to realize there would be a point where His Excellency would move out to Saudi Arabia and start moving these fights over here a little bit, which I respect a lot. So on that card, and this is nothing's confirmed yet, but from what I see, this is Terrence Crawford's return back to the ring. He's going to be on this card. You got Isaac Cruz on this card. You're going to get what's his name? The Mexican guy that beat Joshua heavyweight. Help me out.
Andrew Ruiz Jr.
Andrew Ruiz Jr. is going to be on there as well. Also, we're hearing now that Tim Tszyu, Virgil Ortiz is also going to be on that card.
You know what I like about His Excellency? People say, "Oh, Saudi Arabia, Saudi." No, he's coming here to do a fight. So the American capacity gets some love. He's coming to take boxing over. And only, right now, he's dominant. I mean, Bob Arum's got an amazing lineup going on right now. This is unreal what he's got here. I can't wait, man. Of all the fights coming up, which one are you most looking forward to?
At this moment right now, I think it's the June 1st card.
Yeah? No, I mean, just one fight.
Just one fight right now? I'd have to say Bivol Better Be.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, but something about, I think there's no really bad blood there. They're just two good guys. But Fury and Usyk, it's got that juice. It's got that story.
It's got that juice. I
can't wait. And undisputed for the belts.
I think I would say that. I would have agreed with that and probably picked that as well. But just based on the ebbs and flows of that story until they make their ring entrances.
What's happening?
I believe it's happening. Don't get me wrong, but you never know, right?
And Lomo, I always love to watch Lomo fight because he might only fight a few more times, so he's always a treat to watch him.
Well, I mean, Lomo Cambosos should be a fun fight as well. I'm really looking forward to that as well. I'm always looking forward to Inouye. I'd love to see him come over here.
Yeah. He's got to come over here though.
But you know what? I probably, if it's not Better Beef and Bivol for me, it'd have to be the Taylor Cottrell too.
Yeah, and then Canelo Munguia should be fun too. Then 2 days later, we got Inouye
that.
Fight.
We got that coming up as well, right? So I mean, and then I believe His Excellency is working on making Boots versus Cody. So where does that fit in?
I thought Cody's supposed to fight some Frenchman guy. I don't know.
No. He's fighting. They're talking about it. They'll put that together. The time and date, location is not set yet.
Well, Garcia also called Boots out too. So if Garcia wants to fight Boots, they're gonna push Cody to the side.
Here's the thing: I don't know if His Excellency wants to work with Ryan Garcia. So that could be his detriment. That could be
he's a great fighter, but he doesn't have any name value, right? So we'll see.
No, it's not even name value, man. Just the way he acts and this and that. I mean, those Saudis and His Excellency, they work under a certain pretense, right?
Oh yeah, I know, I get it. I'm just saying, he's actually might push that aside. Oh, Brian will bring us so much money. It's hard to say. I hope Cody gets a fight. He hasn't fought in over a year. He needs to start fighting.
Yeah, he really needs. He's over a year now, bro.
He's too young for this. Undefeated, like get out there and fight.
Right? March 29th was when he last fought.
Yeah,
the opener of that card.
Too long of a layoff. And then we're gonna say, oh, he has ring rust. No, no excuses. You didn't fight. But I get it. Some guys don't want to fight you. You're not a big name draw. And I hate saying that about the guy because I love the guy, but you got to fight, dude.
This is why you got to use your voice, right? I mean, you got
look at the get guy. Out of PBC and go to Top Rank or go Golden Boy. Go somewhere going to get some fights.
Well, that's the thing. That's the reality of it. I mean, if anything, I think he'd do better with Eddie Hearns.
Anybody.
Right?
Eddie
Hearns, Showtime is not giving him the respect.
Nope.
Right? They didn't give the respect to Cowboy Carl either. He ended up leaving.
Yep.
Right? I mean, these quality, I mean, this could be a topic another day. Is boxing racist against the white fighter? Like, I mean,
there's some bias against certain guys, unless you're like a Fury or Usyk that you just can't deny it.
Because they bring that personality, right?
Yeah, and they're just so good.
Not Usyk, Fury.
Not Usyk.
Right?
He just made his name by beating Joshua. But
if you look at boxing in general, how many white guys are really in this sport?
Not a whole lot. Not at the top level.
At the top level, how many? I mean, I think Ryan Rozecki.
You got Zoo, you got Fury, Usyk. I guess Cody would say.
But is Usyk a white guy or is he Ukrainian? How's it different?
He's white. European.
Okay.
Yeah, he's white. So there's some guys.
So then Bivens and the Ukrainian guys and Lomo.
You got Bivol, Lomo. There's a few, but yeah, the majority no.
No. All right. Anything happened this week in Canadian history, my friend?
Nothing happened this week in Canadian boxing, but I'm just going to bring up a guy.
Sure.
He's had some good fights, and he's a former heavyweight champion, Trevor Berbick.
Yeah.
Won the belt in 1986 by defeating a guy, I always like saying his name, Pinklin Thomas.
Yeah.
And Berbick had a good career, man, from 76 to 2000, won the belt. After he beat Pinklin Thomas, next fight he lost the belt. But Trevor Berbick, I mean, he was born in Jamaica, but he grew up in Canada, so we consider him a Canadian.
And who did he lose the belt to?
George Foreman, I believe.
What's it, George Foreman or Tyson?
Maybe it might have been Tyson. Let me see here.
Double check.
I can't remember now.
I believe it was Tyson. That's who he lost the title
to. He also was the last boxer to fight Muhammad Ali.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Trevor Berbick was the first guy that
he did lose to Mike Tyson, but I'm not sure if he had the belt when he did.
No, he did. That's who he lost it to, I believe. He was one of the first guys that he lost it to. Was Tyson beat Berbick for that title?
You're right. Yeah, 6 months later in 1986, second round KO.
That was his first heavyweight title, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he lost right away.
And beat Moore for the title.
What's that?
Foreman beat Michael Moore for the title.
I can't believe you segued into the most perfect thing I was going to say. This week in boxing history, Michael Moore beat Evander Holyfield in 12-round decision in 1994 in Las Vegas. The big thing about Michael Moore, this is the third time he fought Holyfield. He's the first ever Southpaw heavyweight champion in the world in 1994.
Wow.
It's funny that you said Michael Moore. That was my boxing history. Yeah. Then Foreman beat him.
That's perfect.
But if people go back and watch that fight, Holyfield is huge in that fight. And I think Holyfield, no excuses. I think he was just burnt out. He fought Ray Mercer. He fought a bunch of other guys. There were 3 fights in a row that took so much out of him. This is the third fight with Michael Moore, and he just got gassed out. But Holyfield was absolutely jacked in this fight.
Also, we have to mention it. This Saturday, our friend of the show, Darnell, the Diesel Boone, is making his return to the ring. So best wishes to him. We hope you come out victorious and everything works out the way you anticipated and planned for. And
hope so.
May your journey be blessed here, my friend. And we can't wait to find out the results and watch it and get you back on the show here as well. So big shout out to the Diesel, Darnell Boone. We will post some stuff on our socials to find once we get more information on how we can watch it, if we can watch it at all live.
And not only do we hope you win, we've had a lot of different guests on the show, all kinds of personalities. He's got to be one of the top 3 or 4 guys we've had on this genuine, good. All of them have been good in their own ways, but like he's just a great guy.
He is super, super, super nice, and in the midst humble, and in the midst of a training camp when you're supposed to be ferocious and vicious, one of the most humblest guys in the world. Those are the guys that I'm scared of. If that makes
as Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev found out, he's dangerous,
right?
Very dangerous.
Guys to be scared of.
He's fought some of the best fighters of all time. So he knocked him down. He may have lost the decisions, but he knocked him down.
Yeah. So
John
big shout
Pascal,
out.
you name it, he fought him. Tough guys.
He did, man. And if you go back and listen to the interview, it's really cool. Like he admits that I would have done things differently. Like he learned on the job. He took the fights that he shouldn't have taken, but took them anyways.
I still knocked him down.
Right. But did better when he had no one in his corner than he did when he had a guy in the corner.
Which is very rare.
Right.
That was his natural instinct.
Well, there you go, brother, man. So big shout out to Darnell, the Diesel Boone. Let's go. Let's get this, man. Let's come back and let's come back strong. All right, brother, man. Let's wrap this up. It is Thursday, Friday Eve, whatever you want to call it. It's a quiet weekend in combat sports per se. Nothing too much going on. So if there
until
was
next weekend, and then boom, Canelo Munguia and a new theory. So where we go.
Yeah. If there was a weekend where you could go and do stuff with your family and make some points up, do it.
And how the tables have turned. I never ever cheered for Canelo, but now all the hate that he's getting and all the lies about the guy, I hope he beats Munguia, man, and I'm cheering for him.
There you go, man. There you go. So I mean, even Mr. Chance Michaels show some humility.
Yeah, you got to say what's right and what's wrong. Call a ball, a strike, and people call him a chicken in the cow. He fought Triple G. The guy is no chicken. Cut that crap out. He'll fight who he wants. He's picky. He ain't chicken.
You can't blame a man for fighting the talent that's put in front of him. When he fought De La Hoya was coming at the end of his career, right? And if you think about it, outside of Floyd, everyone he fought.
No, Canelo never fought De La Hoya.
Did they? Oh, sorry, pardon me. I mean, most of the guys that he fought coming up to where he is, right?
Yeah, he fought Mosley. He fought a couple guys that were getting older.
But they were on their back foot. They were on their back foot, right? So you can't blame the guy for that. That's just the way it works. Like if you're an up and coming talent, you got to fight these gatekeepers.
A lot of the hate that he got was when Triple G beat in the first fight, even though he got the win. People thought Triple G won, but you can't blame Canelo. He didn't make the decisions; the judges did. So he got a lot of hate for all the Triple G guys.
Well, you know what? This is why you believe
it's the same thing Haney did.
This is why you don't leave it in the hands of the judges. Ask who fought this weekend?
Sean McComb. Ask Lomachenko.
Exactly. Sean McComb, the latest of that, right?
I feel bad for the guy. I enjoy his fights. I actually like the guy. He has a cool style.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just Nick Ball in Saudi Arabia. Another example of you don't leave it in the judge's hands when you know.
And I got to bring up one more thing while we're on the subject of Sean McComb. I like Todd Grisham. I think he's got a good voice, calls a good fight. I don't mind Sergio Mora sometimes, but this last fight, like the last card, he was talking too much about his fighting days. And he did this and he trained like this. Dude, we understand that. We want to watch McComb. We want to watch Garcia. We don't want to hear about what you did and how you like. It was too much. He was a little bit over the top. Too much bias for Barbosa over the McComb. It's supposed to be impartial.
Yeah.
I thought Sergio Mora had a bad night.
We all have our favorites. We all like who we like, right? And that's a given. But when we're doing what we're doing, as much as it might pain me to say some of the things I have to say them because those are facts, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Same with you, right? Like,
I don't want to cheer for Canelo, but you know what? I don't mind the guy now.
And just even the Garcia and Haney stuff. I mean, I wasn't a happy fan of Ryan Garcia leading up into this fight. I get it. You're trying to sell the fight. And yeah, mental health plays an issue. But in my own personal opinion, you should never bring religion into it like that, the way he did.
No, it's just trash.
Right? 1 minute, like you were saying earlier, 1 minute praise Jesus, and the next minute suck my dick.
Yeah, it's a joke.
How do those two sentences work?
And that's together? What I mean. That's why I mean it's not. This isn't just an act. He is definitely
right. But people of faith,
a few cans short of the 6-pack.
I get that. Maybe a half a can left in that 6-pack. Right, the way he's saying stuff. Right, like I mean, if you're a person of faith, okay, and I don't really like to bring up spirituality or religion in our show, but I have to, only for the fact that if you're sitting at home watching this and you do everything the right way according to your faith. Maybe Hinduism, maybe Christianity, whatever your faith is, and you see some guy in your faith come out and take the Lord's name, mocking it. How are you supposed to feel? Thinking, okay, I'm doing everything right, and I can't even make two pennies stick together. No. And this guy's getting all the riches of the world for mocking God, for mocking religion. How's that fair? I think that's where a lot of people are turned off.
He's going to pay a price. He looked great on Saturday. He won, smashed him, but he will pay a price for all this.
Well, I tell you what, man,
lack of training.
He was weight bullied in the Javante fight. He weight bullied here.
Yeah.
I mean, Karma has a weight coming, but then again, Haney weight bullied too.
Yeah, he did in the Lomo.
Right. So I mean, the reality of it is that it's just kind of like, okay, I mean, what's going to catch up with these guys? I mean, this is why you look at a guy like Terrence Crawford. He does everything by the book. He does it all right. How can you fault that guy, right?
Yeah, he's a
On
good
him is
guy.
he doesn't fight. He needs to fight more. That's the
He
only
never
wrong.
fights. Never fights. And he's 36 now, so he's gonna start slowing down. He'll start
Yeah, yeah,
fighting.
yeah. So it just I wanted to make a mention of that because that really bothered me. As someone of faith and someone who believes, you don't want to hear that. That's not fair.
He's making a joke of it.
You make people question their own faith.
When you do
Why
that.
am I doing this if I'm not seeing the rewards and the success this man is?
No, I agree with you, man. It was, De La Hoya's there kind of smiling. He's kind of cringing too. He's probably like, shut up, dude. Get off the mic, But hey,
Yeah, yeah.
love the suit you wore, De La Hoya. Golden boy, you look sharp. That's how a boss dresses. And man, he looked good.
No, he looked good and he was happy too, man, because I mean, he finally won. I mean, if anyone
Yeah,
needed a victory, it was of this magnitude, it would have been
he
a De La
needed
Hoya.
that.
He needed that.
But
Unfortunately,
the next day, Garcia was on the PBD podcast.
yeah.
And Patrick asked him, "Are you going to stay with De La Hoya after your contract's up?" This is Garcia's exact quote. I plead the fifth. So
I don't know where he's gonna go, who's gonna take him. I
go
mean,
watch that interview with him. He was not too bad in it.
yeah, that I saw that on my feed. I thought it was the old one because that's the second
No, it's
time
right
he's
after
been on
the fight
there.
the next day. Sorry,
Okay,
Monday,
okay.
2 days later.
All right, brother man, let's wrap it up here. It is Thursday, like I said. We went off on a bit of a tangent, but you know what? I enjoyed this. I think we had a lot of fun
Good.
with this one. So yeah, guys, girls, if you're boxing fans, if you're combat sports fans, this is the weekend to make brownie points with your families. There's not much going on, nothing live worthy. I mean, every fight's worth it. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, there's nothing really live that you can't watch on Rewind.
Yeah.
So make up the time, make your wives happy. Girls, if you love boxing and your husband doesn't or your boyfriend doesn't, make them happy. Take the opportunity to do it this weekend because after this, we're all locked in for the next 6-7 weeks.
A lot of good stuff coming up.
Right? All right. I'm Bobby Sampson. He's Chance Michaels.
And in the words of the great AC/DC, those that download, like, and subscribe to the podcast, we salute you.
We do salute you guys. Enjoy the weekend. Drink, do your drugs, do whatever you want. Be happy. Just remember, come home safe and take the right steps to ensure that you come home safe. And you know what? I like this, so I'm going to say it again. If people don't like you and if people don't like what you're doing and they don't want to support you, it's because they hate themselves. Samp and Chance out.